Hey there, everybody. I'm CCB Dolan here with CCB Fozzie, bringing you Gerodian in red versus Stay Frosty in blue. So we have some really close-up brawling setups here. We're gonna have to see how they do. What do you think What do you think about these setups?
I think it's really good. The team from Stay Frosty is definitely the more brawly of the two. Stay Frosty has brought an EOS, a Brutix Navy issue, and a Neros, Myrmidon, 2 NEOs, and 2 Tristans. Lots of drone damage, but the EOS is more heavily aimed towards heavy drones than sentries. And then Gerodian has brought a more typical kiting drone team with an EOS, a Neros, 3 Ishtars, and a Kestrel. Notably, did bring less than their total, like the max number of people there.
Yep, traditionally not a great choice.
Not a great choice. Also, traditionally kind of a Solar Fleet choice. So
Yeah.
it turns out they actually are following the footsteps of previous Solar Fleet teams. I'm definitely thinking that Stay Frosty, actually it's really hard to tell. So what happened was Stay Frosty came in close to the beacon. Gerodian is at max range though, and they're going to be spreading those Ishtars out. If they do it right, they're going to fly all in opposite directions. It can take a very long time for Stay Frosty to catch them.
Yep, and look at this brick tank from Stay Frosty. You can see a similar tank from Gerodian as they all turn on their hardeners. But that's a pretty big brick tank for such a blaster-heavy team.
Yeah, well, I mean, so the EOS, Brutix Navy issue, Myrmidon all have pretty solid tanks, especially the EOS and the Myrmidon. And then those NEOs actually are going to be probably pretty hard to kill as well. And they're going to be key. The NEOs and the Tristans are going to be what allows them to tackle the Ishtars, get on top of them, and deal the damage. They've got some tracking disruptors, but that's not going to mean a whole lot because there's not going to be a lot of gun damage coming from Gerodian. What they need to do is, they're losing a Brutix Navy issue so
and
fast.
the Neros is damped, it's not repping.
Yeah, I mean, he's repping the Myrmidon instead of the Brutix Navy issue. That is a big mistake. Stay Frosty looks like they're about to lose a Brutix Navy issue to that Sentry drone DPS right off the start. That being said, though, we aren't seeing the Ishtars from the Gerodian team get very far apart. So right now they have their nearest tackled. It's going to go down probably pretty soon. And if they don't get those Ishtars further apart, they're going to be in big trouble because that's going to mean that the Stay Frosty blaster boats are going to get on top of them.
And as we say that, the Brood Navy issue is just dropping in structure. I'm sure it'll drop in the next couple seconds.
There it goes.
So Rep's still on that Myrmidon as the Neros is now taking tons of damage.
Yeah, I mean, they really need to get more damage applied to this Neros from Gerodian. It's been tackled and shot at for a while, but it's only gone through shields, and it's going to be armor tank.
It looks like it's only the NEOs on top of it.
Yeah, but even the NEO should be doing a bit more damage than that. I guess it might have. No, it doesn't have any remote rep drones on it. But this is definitely not a good start for Stay Frosty. They really needed to get more ships killed right off the bat, and it's not happening.
Yeah, you can see some tanks being tested all across the Stay Frosty team, and Gerodian looks to be holding strong. With less pilots, of course, it's less work for that logistics pilot to select and rep.
It is, yep. It's going to be a lot easier for that. The correct repping was on the EOS there from Stay Frosty, but then the Neros got damped again and lost its rep. So this is a really, really difficult position for that Neros of Egan there for Stay Frosty. Going to be a really difficult job that he has because he has to stay far enough away from the tackle on the Gerodian team to not die, but also close enough to lock through those damps, and he just is able to pull it off.
Yep, and the EOS goes down. You can see, I bet you all of those Ishtars are filled, their mids are completely filled out with damps, and they're just crushing that Neros' ability to rep. He can't really do anything as they're slowly picking off and catching now another NEO.
Yeah, at this point, they did deal some damage to him, and it looks like they're switching to him again now, but they didn't really need to kill him very early. They were able to just damp him down and then kill off the Brutix Navy and the EOS without almost any reps coming to him. And this is going to be a very solid performance from Gerodian. This is, I mean, not really my favorite setup by any means. I think they probably could have done better by, say, switching that EOS to something cheaper and then getting some more pilots in. But
you can, for instance, also, you can get many more damps by just having like Merlins or something like that in there. Something that's really cheap on points so you can fit a lot more damps onto.
Yeah.
But just the drone damage, I mean, the sentry damage there is going to be so strong.
I mean, this kind of setup, you've seen it. It's similar setups used in the Last Alliance tournament, but they often would have a Myrmidon as the link giver instead of an EOS, which then saves you the points to allow you to, say, have a couple of Navy Vexers instead and actually fill out the team. As we see now, one more ship down for Stay Frosty. At this point, nothing's going to die for Gerodian. This is just a matter of time. They just have to pick off those last frigates, and it will be a very clean wipe for our Solar Fleet members, Gerodian.
I'm sure our Russian stream is quite pleased with this performance. Of course, I'm sure they're supported by a lot of our Russian players, a lot of fans of Solar Fleet. So we're going to have to see how they progress through the tournament. But this was a really strong showing from them, especially considering they might have brought what was not an optimal team setup by certain standards. But they made it work here.
Yeah, and they did great work with those damps. You saw the damps coming on and off the Neros. If you do that, you essentially bait him into moving further away. He's like, oh, I'm not damped anymore. I can pull a bit more range, because most Logi pilots are trained to try to be be as far away as possible. But then you get damped again, you lose your locks, and they can kill something else. That's the kind of pressure that it takes an amazing tournament logistics pilot to be able to handle. And Stay Frosty obviously has some good pilots, but they just don't have a lot of tournament experience. So this is going to be a good learning experience for them.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where you just need the time. You just need to be in enough matches that you know what's up. Perhaps joining an SCL or something like that is a great place to pick up that sort of experience. And of course, Gerodian, being from Solar Fleet, a long and storied Alliance tournament team, they're going to have a lot more options to train up their pilots.
Yeah, and now we have just the one last Tristan going through armor now, and that's going to be the end of the road for this Stay Frosty match. Stay Frosty's going to move down to the losers bracket, and Gerodian's going to continue on in the winners bracket. I think that means they're going to go up against either Thing or Kids with Knives, whoever wins that. So that'll be an interesting match that we'll see tomorrow. We're going to have some pretty exciting matches tomorrow in these winners and losers brackets. But first, we're going to see this one finish. And there we go. Stay Frosty has lost their last frigate. Perfect win. Complete wipe for Gerodian. And we're going to send you back to us in just a moment.